I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm trying to hold it in.
Oh, sorry. And then the other theater.
Oh, so yeah, the children's theater. My 4 children love theater also. There's so many deaf children. Wait, the DePaul Theater offers children's theater as well, with interpreters. But where's the rest of them? Just that one.
I know that the company I work with, they don't have interpreted shows, but when it's requested, they'll bring in an interpreter. So I'm hoping that once I graduate and have a license, I'll be able to interpret for them, and maybe they'll be able to do like an interpreted performance for each run of each show they do.
I've noticed in the deaf community there really aren't a lot of people who are requesting deaf children's shows, or interpreted children's shows. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the screen. You've got to market the play, and then you have to request somebody. Little Red Riding Hood. I didn't know about that one, but I would love to call and maybe get. When's the next show?
Well, this show runs all the way through August. And then I don't know what the next...
It's still running, wow.
Yeah, I had a show this morning. So, hence all my makeup is still a little bit crazy from the show. But
which character are you?
I'm Little Red Riding Hood.
You shouldn't have told me that.
I love it. It's so much fun.
Let me figure it out.
Yeah.
So tell me more about it. How do I request an interpreter?
Well, if you called the theater, if you called the company, or you had somebody call or used a VRS to call, and told them you had deaf students coming, you have to let them know in advance. Then they would hire an interpreter for that show.
Wow, nice. Where did you say it was again?
So there's one theater on the northwest side, and that's the Stahl Family Theater. And the other theater that they use is, forget the name. Hold on, give me a second. It's all the way on the south side. What's just south of the city? There's a little town. It's still technically part of the city, but it's around like 107th. It'll come to me in a minute.
Highlands Park? Hyde Park?
It's not Hyde Park. There's another little area down there, and I can't think of.
Shorewood?
No, it'll come to me in a minute. I'm sure. I have one, I think, in my bag. I'll check before I leave. If not, I'll give you the website.
Awesome.
But it's definitely the only thing with bringing in interpreters is they have to make sure they have enough, like, people in the house to be able to pay the interpreters. So, but usually that's not a problem, because if they book a show and they don't have like 100 people coming, just in general, they can't pay for the theater. So, so you want to book it in advance so that way they can make sure that they have that on a day when they have a school group coming, and then they can hire the interpreter that way.
So. Wonderful. Well, I'm part of an organization called the Chicago Area the Deaf Network Theater. What we do is we come and we explain to the theater specifically about the process, how they can make it smooth and easier to get an interpreter. At the same time, we market for the deaf community. We're trying to interesting to get different groups of children coming in.
I would love to put you in contact with the director and the manager at the theater, because I'm sure they would be interested in seeing if there was some way they could do maybe, you know, a specifically interpreted performance that could be marketed to the deaf community, because they're always looking for new ways to bring in new kids. They work with a lot of schools.
I just saw Les Mis.
I love Les Mis.
Oh, it's wonderful. There were 2 interpreters. I went in and I met the director of the theater, and I told him they should be marketing more because there's so many deaf people who don't know about this, about how it's an interpreted show, and so I had to meet with him and explain to that. I love theater. I love going to theater. It's sad to see that my people it's sad to see when people are not in the theater because they don't know about the shows.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I like about the kids company you work with is they do a lot of work with low-income schools that can't really afford maybe field trips, and they'll get grants so that way these kids who've never been to the theater before will get to go to the theater for the first time. And there is nothing like seeing a kid who's never been to the theater when their eyes get so big and they're looking at all the costumes and the sets, and just it's something they've never experienced and they get so excited. So for me, that's one of my favorite things.
I can tell you're very passionate about it.
Yeah, it's why I'm hoping that I can, as I get my license, I can work with them to start bringing in like deaf kids and doing interpreting for them, because I love working with kids and I love working with deaf and I love acting. So if I could do the 3 of them, I'd just be really happy.
I have a deaf youth center. We're always looking for volunteers. So you should know there's children, we have theater, and we need signing volunteers.
Oh. Where's it at?
Libertyville.
Where's Libertyville in the I'm really, really bad
It's-
at locations.
It's west about 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Okay. It's like, is it still in the city of Chicago, or
It's west, but it's outside of the city.
can you get there?
The 290, the expressway. It goes straight there. It's about 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. We need to exchange information so that way I can get some more information about this.
I've been saying that to everyone today. You can ask Shelly, she can let you know.
Okay, sure.
Yes, I do everything.
There's like